My gaze falls on the fowl, it's dead on 3. Tregothnan's sun makes butter of my bones. Someone's thinking, now's the time, it's time for tea. Tourists talk of Eden, Marazion and the sea, while clotted cream is spread on fresh-baked scones. My gaze falls on the fowl, it's dead on 3. Torn leaves from bushes only feet away are free to swell and fill the pot until it grows.
To tea or not to tea? That is the question. I'm waiting here, just about to go in for afternoon tea, and this afternoon tea's got a little bit of a different style about it, a different approach. It's afternoon tea with Britain's tea poet, Elizabeth Darcy Jones, who I'll be talking to a little bit.
May I just explain the afternoon tea menu for you? This is known for the Chesterfield champagne tea, which is same as traditional but with a glass of champagne. Then the demi-sec is a hint of sweetness and it was a champagne made to go with food, so...
I'll get that one,
yep.
Champagne made to go with food.
Right.
That's for me. Got gorgeously cut sandwiches, ham and cheese. I love the way that they've done the bread as well, like into a little circle with the chicken. You've got onion bread as well, so lots of different types of bread going on in there. Now coming to the nice part, the dessert. Let's see what we've got. We've got some strawberry cheesecake here, we've got a chocolate eclair, some fruit cake, and they all come on nice little gold platters. That looks absolutely delicious. And then on top, up here, we've got the scope.
Ceylon from Sri Lanka. It's a little bit stronger than English breakfast tea, but very pleasant to drink.
So here I am with Britain's tea poet, Elizabeth Darcy Jones. How does it feel to have that title?
Oddly enough, although it's a wonderful, wonderful title, it feels very natural and I feel very honoured. I feel honoured, I guess is the feeling. I feel every time I say it, I feel honoured, and shouldn't Britain, of all countries, have a tea poet?
Which we do. So, how did this transpire? How did you become the resident here in Mayfair, the Chesterfield?
Well, yes, in a funny sort of way, it's interesting. Britain's tea poet kind of evolved by itself because fellow poets were saying she's the tea lady, which kind of isn't quite, it doesn't have the same ring to it, does it really? And then someone said, oh, you're Britain's tea poet, and that's fine. But actually the title I love more than any is the one that's been bestowed on me properly, which is, if you like, poet in residence at the Chesterfield.
Strangest place and the strangest poem that you've written tea about?
Oh goodness, that is a really, really good question. I think actually this is the best one. I don't know if you're aware, but Britain has its own tea plantation in Cornwall.
Okay. Yeah,
and I think actually this was the most unusual cup of tea. It was in the pouring rain in January 2011. And it was meant to inspire a poem about Cornish tea. It's grown in a place called Tregothnan, and the chap who forwarded and made it for me, so it was pouring with rain outside and beating the window, but I had to imagine that it was going to be a sunny day, and I was drinking out of a mug, actually, rather than a china cup, this wonderful Tregothnan made in Britain tea, grown in Britain tea, and that produced a poem called Afternoon Tea from Cornwall. So that's mine. Do you want a couple of verses from it? Or do you The line that I forgot comes back to me. I reconnect to that which no one owns. My gaze falls on the fowl, it's dead on 3. This someone's thinking, now it's time. The time for tea.
I've had one excellent tea here at the Chesterfield in Mayfair. Now, Anne, 7th Duchess of Bedford, in the early 19th century, used to complain about having a sinking feeling in the mid to late afternoon. So afternoon tea is almost always credited back to her. Well, I'm telling you, I have not got that sinking feeling anymore. I am absolutely full. What's great about this afternoon tea is that we have a tea resident poet here, Elizabeth Darcy Jones, who has just gone around the room all afternoon giving her poetry out too. So why don't you come here to the Chesterfield Hotel and lose that sinking feeling, because I promise you, you won't want to eat another thing.